All right, we are on the play in match 1 of this league with Looting Rug Delver. That hand's iffy. That hand is iffy. We kind of have clock and disruption respectively. Looting could help. My issue is that Goif's not necessarily coming down soon. That usually doesn't stop me from keeping hands though. So I think that's probably fine. Let's go Spire Bluff Canal Pass. I don't want to loot here because I don't know what I'm up against, and therefore I don't know what I should be discarding. Bloodstained Mire, go. That could be a lot of stuff. Second, Tarmogoyf. Alright, so we're either going to slam Peasy or we're going to loot here. We're probably not up against an aggro deck, but there are a lot of cases in which Tarfire is still pretty decent. So I don't really want to loot that away necessarily. I might just try to find a land here. I don't mind playing out this mountain before the looting, because we're not casting a Tarmogoyf off said land anyways. I kind of want to play out this Pyromancer, but at the same time, there's a good chance we're going to find land 3 here, and that means Peasy plus spell. Discard one of these, and what's it gonna be? I'm actually kind of leaning towards this Tarfire. We're gonna get to flash it back possibly down the line. And Bloodstained Mire, not necessarily meaning a mid-range or control deck, but I want to say usually the Bloodstained Mire decks are mid-range or control, and well, I don't really want to discard a Tarmogoyf when we're up against a control deck. I'm going to be perfectly honest. That just seems not good. Knight's Whisper. Oh, dear. This could be Grishelbrand. This could be Grishelbrand. That's kind of scary. And they have an extra card to discard, which kind of is like Grishelbrand's thing, right? That way they can put something in the bin if they don't have a discard outlet. Demigod of Revenge. I could see that in a Grishelbrand list. I buy that. Lightning Bolt. Not likely to do work here. I believe we're going to slam Tarmogoyf because it's our fastest clock. We do not have Disruption up here. Besides Lightning Bolt, which, if this is a Goryo's Vengeance deck, like I have a feeling it is, we're going to be in some trouble. 2 mana, Dreadbore. That's actually fantastic for us. Alright. Alright. I'm a little less terrified. This could still go pretty badly. We don't actually know that they're on that kind of deck. Dismember could be very good. I'm going to slam second Goyf. Dismember to shrink a Grishelbrand so that it doesn't allow them to gain as much life. Sounds awesome. Granted, if they're drawing 7 cards, casting Nourishing Shoals, and looping that kind of stuff, we're going to be in a bad spot regardlessly. But Dismember's not that bad here. It's serviceable. That's important. Actually, Vapor Snag sounds awesome against this deck. I'm pretty sure if this is Grishelbrand, we're keeping our Vapor Snags. That sounds great. Just casually put that back in your hand. No thank you. Dragon Skull Summit. Okay. 3. Anger. Anger plus Bolt. You got it. What are they on? That's going to happen. We're going to bolt them on the end step here. Yeah, I like bolting them here just in case we hit a 1-mana counterspell, so we can hold that up in addition to whatever we play out. Mandrills is a 2-turn clock when paired with Snapbolt, so I believe we're just going to cast him as opposed to the Pyromancer. Let's see, how are we going to delve here? 1 more card has to go, probably the Tarfire. We might find another Tarmogoyf. I don't think it's going to be relevant. If I find another land, I might want to loot. I am going to want to loot. We're going to get rid of the Tarfire. If we find a blue source, we can tap out for looting, potentially draw a 1-mana counterspell, discard some stuff we don't want, play the land, 5 mana, all black. Oh, this is a 5-drop. Whoops, I thought that was 6. Dismember. That's cool. Okay, so we're only going to be facing down 1 Demigod. That's good. What do you got, opponent? I'm not sure what they're on. We are definitely killing this. I don't have much of a doubt in my mind. Sounds good. Alright then. Do we actually snap dismember this? We might. That sounds really rough, but you know what? It's a line. I'm gonna hope they don't have another in hand. That would be bad. That sounds like a good way to lose. For us, not them. For them, it's great. Actually, if they do... No, if they have another, they get all 3. I was gonna say, if they just have one more of these, we snap dismember, crack in, and hope. They are cycling. You got it. Okay. So they might just be on some sort of demigod deck. I feel like this is Griselbrand, but I don't think they main deck Anger or Dreadbore. That deck is usually very linear. I feel like they're not attacking here. Maybe they do make us have the bolt. No, the bolt's in our graveyard. And I guess they're playing around Snapcaster Mage. Alright, what do we do here? Whew. If we snap dismember this, we don't actually have bolt available because this is our only Snapcaster Mage, so that's not fantastic. If they had another Demigod, we were dead there. Now, they might have cycled into it, but we're going to hope they didn't. Even if we do snap dismember this, we're still dead to Demigod off the top because they'll have 3, so that doesn't matter. So if they have Demigod, we're dead. Therefore, we need to figure out how to win the games in which they don't have Demigod. And I feel like that very much involves lowering their life total. If we can play out 2 threats, theoretically. I don't hate that line. Delver plus Peasy. However, while that sets us up nicely for next turn, I'm just going to make them have it. We're not going to get fancy here. I'm going to play my dude. Flashback Dismember. Do that, that, and that. Lose some life, get rid of that, get in for 4. I think I like this line because we still have lethal on the table. So we're just making sure they're dead next turn, basically. If they have something, we're dead no matter how many creatures we put on the board. So I think what we want to do is just make sure that if they don't have something, we win. If they do have something, we're dead in any case. Are we dead, opponent? Do they have 2 bolts? Do they just have a demigod? We're dead to demigod anyways. None of our decisions mattered. Oh, did they Kolagon it back? They totally Kolagoned it back. Yep. So we were just dead. We didn't have an out to that. Cool. So they're on a demigod deck. We saw almost 20 of their cards. Kolagon's commands, bolts, angers, some interaction. That's interesting. How are we going to beat this? Basilisk Collar actually doesn't seem terrible. Huntmaster seems way too slow. Revelry doesn't seem to have targets. Feed the Clan, probably not worth it. Hazaret probably isn't either. Oh, I dropped Deprive for Hazaret. I don't think we need Deprive for the combo and big mana matchups. So the Deprive slot, as I'm calling it in the sideboard, is basically just for control. Hazaret is at least serviceable against control, and it also seems great against midrange. It might be great against both. So I think Hazaret's just much better for that slot. It's sort of like a Haymaker, like Feed the Clan is for burn. It's a lot narrower than Deprive is, but it's also a lot more powerful. And since I don't think I need the versatility there, I'd rather have this. Anger seems bad, although Graveyard Hate in general seems good. Grudge is bad. Braid's bad. Alpine Moon's bad. Snapcaster seems okay. Alright, so we basically just want to find counter spells to slow down their enablers. We can't profitably counter Demigod, since it has an on-cast trigger to bring back more demigods. Does that bring up the card? It does not bring up the card. That would have been neat. So we're looking at cutting 1 or 2 spells. I think I like Snapcaster Mage here, because it's just more copies of our Vapor Snags and things like that, to try to just barely get under them. Maybe Forked Bolt goes. I could see that. Basilisk Collar I kind of like as a way to just gain some life to get past them. I think that might be good. I don't know. I like Basilisk Collar over Feed the Clan. Death Touch is somewhat relevant, and recurring life gain is probably better than one-time life gain. I feel like it's these Forked Bolts. We didn't see good targets for them. Thought Scour speeds us up. Cantrips, counters. Yeah, we're just going to dump these two. Maybe you want one Forked Bolt to stay and you dump the Collar, but I'm going to try this. See how it goes. Let's go first. This hand is not great. I think this is worth mulliganing. It's probably just too slow. This hand is probably fine. We're going to keep. What do we have on top? It's a Delver. We're going to top that and shuffle it away. Leyline. Okay. That's fair. Makes that Snapcaster Mage worse. Let's grab a Breeding Pool. Make sure we can cast those spells. If we find a Faithless Looting, it's probably putting this Hooting Mandrills into the bin. Let's bottom this Lightning Bolt since we probably don't want it anytime soon. Go to the opponent. I think we want to loot on 2. I feel like I want to loot on 2. Well, there goes Pyromancer. Now we're definitely looting on 2. Maybe they're just on a black-red mid-range deck with Demigod as its win con. I could see that. That kind of makes sense. Let's draw looting. Draw some more. Spell Pierce ain't bad. I actually like having that up. I'm going to dump Mandrills, and I think Tarfire Vapor Snag lets us interact a little bit. Now we need to find a clock. I don't think we're boarding in Revelry to interact with that. That doesn't seem great. Faithless Looting, that's probably worth Spell Piercing. They don't seem to be on an actual Goryo's Vengeance deck, so I think their win con is just... What's the word? Their win con is just casting their big dudes, and that's not really something we can interact with Spell Pierce. I think I'd rather have the Misty in play because I can grab a Steam Vents off it. Flashback Looting, you got it. It's possible we should have just let that go, but I think we need to slow them down. We could theoretically hold the Spell Pierce to counter their interaction, but that doesn't seem great. They pitched a Leyline and a Demigod. You got it. We're going to grab a Steam Vents on the end step here. That one. No need to pay any life. Well, we paid for the fetch, but what are you going to do about that? Leyline doing work against Faithless Looting. That would be a nice card right now. If this is more hand disruption, I think we just bolt face. It's not cool. I think Vapor Snag's the better card anyways. Maybe that's not necessarily right. I'm going to leave all this in hand. We don't have any 4-drops. We definitely don't have any 5-drops right now. So if we do find another looting, I want to be able to pitch whatever I feel like. It also feels like we're just losing this game, but what are you going to do? Sometimes that happens. This is a Thoughtseize. Okay. That definitely makes me want to bolt face. They don't have creatures to bolt, so the only way they're taking our lightning bolt is if they don't want to lose life. And us bolting them causes them to lose life. This is a Chandra. Alright, that's fine. They hit a Faithless Looting. That's not happening because they're out of mana. How big's Tarmogoyf right now? Sorcery, creature, enchantment, land. That's 4/5. Bolt. Just checking the Goyf because I know this does 4. We might end up bolting a certain face again. It's really unlikely we win by bolting them. But Hazoret, nice. Yeah, so it looks like they are just on a black-red mid-range plan. Bolt looks even worse now. Looting. Kind of wish I could counter that. Oh, no, they're still going to be at 2 cards. It's fine. Hazoret's not hitting us yet. It's all good. Next turn, it's probably going to be punching us in the face. 2-turn clock between Hazoret, its ability, and Chandra's ability. Either of them could do 2 damage to us twice. Are we bolting face here now? Oh, they hit a land. That's bad. Well, we can't bolt it. We could bolt Chandra. I'm going to hold on to that lightning bolt. I think we're just dead. Mana leak. Nice. Looting would be better. Actually, I would quite like to loot that away specifically. They're going to hit a Dreadbore. Let that stay in the exile zone. We're going to take 2. And Hazoret's lethal. GG's opponent. All right. Black-red. I want to call it mid-range. It definitely wasn't a combo deck. I think it was just straight up mid-range. Kind of neat. I feel like I've seen something like that before, but I'm not sure. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope to see you in the next one.